I'm Joshua Simon.
I'm Sam Joe.
And we are the SG Boys.
That little gay podcast from Singapore.
Subscribe and find us on Instagram at the SG Boys. Feels nice to have Sam Joe back, although he doesn't look like Sam Joe.
What do you mean?
This is a pink flamingo Sam Joe.
Oh, my hair. Yeah.
What's going on?
We're still talking about that.
Explain.
Okay, here's the story. The thing is that I was going to do it for Pink Dot. And I was like, happy Pink Dot, I have pink hair. But as luck would have it, I couldn't schedule an appointment at the salon before I left for overseas. So yeah, I did it in July. Anyway, we should be celebrating Pride all around the year, okay? Not just in June.
Of course.
Okay?
We had Pride Month, and now that's left a rainbow mark on us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I see you have started to accessorize differently as well. You have a little furry ring going on.
Yeah.
Is it a love token?
It's very Muppety, but it's actually a hair tie.
Oh, what hair? Where's your hair?
Thanks. I unfortunately can't use this, but I've used it now as a ring. I've repurposed it.
Yeah.
It feels good to have Sam Joe back in Singapore.
I missed it. Not the weather though. Freaking hot, right?
Yeah. Singapore's obsessed with code orange, code red for stuff, right?
Oh, yes.
We're doing
heat advisory.
Heat
advisory.
By the way.
Anything above 33, apparently, it's red lah. Code red. And then what? We're not supposed to go out?
We have to wear face masks and stay indoors and keep a meter apart from each other. I'm
Right.
kidding.
Loves it. Okay.
Well, on the show...
who are we kidding? We are recording this in an air-conditioned room.
Yes. I mean, it's a little bit hot right now because we have 3 people... that's actually watching us have this conversation right now. But we're going to have them
waiting to jump in.
join us. We have the incredible Joe Tan on the show.
It is I, Joe Tan. Hello.
Who is Joe Tan?
Well, if you Google it, Joe Tan actually is premium beef tongue in Japanese. So reviews of my work include succulent. Other times, I'm also an actor and playwright. I guess I have to say it myself because there's nobody else to say it for me. So yeah, I won a couple of awards. Yay!
Come on now.
Thank you.
Cue applause.
Succulent and juicy. Anyway, yes. So these were not awards from Hungry Go Where or whatnot. So they were live theatre awards, and it's for this play. They were mostly for this play King that I wrote based on my experience drag kinging, and how that kind of changed my perception of gender and how freeing it could be to distance yourself from the label that you were born with. And it's coming back, which is the reason why I intruded on your beautiful air-conditioned space here today.
Come on.
Josh and Sam Joe, thank you for sharing your aircon quota with me.
You're more than welcome.
You're welcome. I'll stay hot just for you, willingly. Yeah. Joe, by the way, came in clad in full what is this 80s workout attire, Olivia Newton-John. It's
Let's
giving
get physical.
that. Let's get physical with the headband.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just very big on thrift, so everything is secondhand. I don't know. I just try to make sure the colors kind of blend. But thank you. That's what I'm using from now on. Olivia Newton-John.
There we go.
I love that.
And also, we gotta add this in as well. We're so envious. You're one of the dim sum dollies.
I am. I'm the newest one, so there's we all have labels, so I'm the tall one apparently. It's not very challenging in that particular trio, but I am the tall one. Well done, succulent, juicy, and tall.
I also know Joe because you used to be a colleague of mine.
Yeah.
At our radio station as well. So
It's colleague twice removed.
it's so strange though. This is actually the first time we're talking together.
Yeah, we've exchanged more than 5 sentences, I think. Yeah, this is the first time that I think we've done that.
There was a show that I watched, I think Tartuffe.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
And right after the show, you came out, and I thought you were absolutely brilliant because I'd never seen this side of you. I've only seen you sort of on radio.
Right.
And you shared with me something which we will get to later on.
Okay.
As well.
Let's.
Also on the show with us right now is Irfan Kasban.
Yeah, hello. It's me. I'm here.
Some people might refer to him as Kasban material.
Oh
my goodness.
Scared.
Irfan's the director of King. Irfan, you'll know him from People Like Us.
Mm-hmm. I play Rizwan in that YouTube series produced by Action for 8. Clips of the show from 5 years ago only got famous in February this year through Malaysians. So I suddenly got 800 follows from this.
But what was that line that you were saying in the show?
I was I assumed that a drag queen was a bottom, and the drag queen went, I'm not a bottom lah.
Oh, yeah. The number of drag queens, is that based on a real life experience? Because the number of drag queens have actually told me, have insisted that they are not bottoms. Like, actually, I cannot even count them on one hand.
A lot, yeah.
I don't have enough digits to count,
Yeah.
right?
A lot, yeah. And I know that for a fact, actually. That it's quite true, yeah.
Why? Do you know
Like
for a
intimately, you know, like,
We can only guess, yeah.
okay, so much tea to spill today. So you got viral on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Twitter is
in
still,
Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
Yeah,
Okay,
or-
Twitter is still good for something.
I mean,
guys.
it's called X right now. You went viral.
Oh, that's
on
what it is.
X.
I was
Yeah,
like,
girl.
why is the logo different? Yeah, I was like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blame Elon Musk. If
Oh,
you're
it looks like a porn site, but you know.
People Like Us is a queer web series.
Yes, we just shot season 3 last week, and it's gonna come out soon, I think.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys use one of my songs for like the end credits of an episode.
Oh, nice.
By the way.
Which season do you know?
I think it was the first one.
Oh,
It may have
nice.
been that. It was a couple of years ago.
Nice.
What song was it, Josh? Just, I mean, if you're gonna plug, just plug all the way lah. Like, is it available for download on Spotify?
It's on
What?
Spotify.
What?
It's on my debut album. It's called Hush. Anyway, we also have
Josh, by the way, has a Wikipedia page, right? Is it?
Yeah.
So go look it up. Look it up.
I'm gonna
Know
edit
your
it.
Singapore icons, right, Joe?
That's
I'm
right.
surrounded by Singapore icons today. I cannot with the heat.
Speaking of Singapore icons,
That's right. We have Mitch, who's also here. We're gonna pass the mic because we only have 4
we're
microphones.
literally gonna pass the mic. We're not just like virtue signaling. Like we've literally passed this like physical microphone to Mitch.
Thank you for passing the mic.
Woo!
Mitch
Where's
is
the
the-
applause? How come the other two got applause, then he didn't get?
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Mitch.
So not used to this anymore.
Mitch is openly gay. He's the choreographer of King. We actually know each other because we went on a date once.
Yeah, this was ages ago.
Oh my
Surprise! Not every time Josh has a guest on the show, and we've had many guests, and he says, "Oh, actually, we met before." It's always like you.
It's someone that he's dated
Coffee
before.
lah, grinder lah, or
What?
at least like
This
we at
one
least-
was Korean family restaurant.
See,
Yes.
it was like so wholesome. It was really like a really nice time.
No, there was beer afterwards, so I don't
Yeah,
know how
well-
wholesome that is.
Well, no, because he had just come back from London and then just came back to Singapore and was kind of like trying to find his footing. And I felt
And
like
you helped him find his footing.
I
And some other.
I felt like it was more important for me to be a friend to
And
him.
that was really, really helpful. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mitch is on the show and he's a choreographer, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how you taught a magic mic move to Joe.
So I think a choreographer is a really big title for something like King. I think I work more as a movement facilitator for Joe. So
Wow.
whatever the show needs.
And some of those are magic mic moves.
Some of those are magic mic moves, definitely. And Joe enjoys it.
I do.
So she practices them
I do.
all
I do.
the time.
Makes my
right?
husband nervous.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
You're gonna show us some of these moves later.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm,
What
doing,
exactly?
I'm doing it right now. Haha,
Yeah.
but you can't see. It's a podcast. Whoa, I'm amazing.
Let's get into King. What is this show about?
So there's this office lady, Gyok Yen, and she kind of like, she's your really average office lady. You know, she goes to work. She has a certain number of goals that she wants to hit in her life, including get married, get a promotion. And one day, she shows up to the office party. For a bunch of reasons, she's frustrated. She doesn't have a costume. It's supposed to be a fancy dress party. She goes as a man in her husband's clothes and with a wig that she bought from Taobao. Something changes in her because the way people treat her is different, and the way suddenly she feels that she's allowed to speak is different. The way she's allowed to move, the way she's allowed to stand, the way she's allowed to just consume the alcohol in front of her. She feels free, and she really loves this personality. She gives it a name. It's Stirling da Silva, and from then on, things kind of go out of control. Like the personality starts to take on a life of his own. And because of a colleague of hers, she manages to get on a drag show as a drag king. And then she kind of has to negotiate how much freedom she wants to give this almost demon inside her. And can she get rid of it, or should she get rid of it? So yeah, that's the premise of King, and it was based off my own experience. Went into a workshop and I was very lazy. I was supposed to come in as a character, but I just came in my husband's clothes and a wig that I had, and people started treating me differently. Like one of my colleagues that used to be quite dismissive and always used me as the butt of the joke, he treated me differently. Like he started talking to me. He seemed to be more interested in hearing what I had to say. Like we were all supposed to interact with each other, but he didn't necessarily have to interact with me in character. But that's the choice that he made. And another colleague was very interesting because apparently like he saw my back view or like a little bit of my face, and we never really worked together before then, so he didn't know me very well, but he was asking people, oh my God, who is that? And I just felt so like, oh, well done, me. And it was just this experience where I suddenly felt bigger and taller, and I felt much freer. And I was like, why is that the case? If I wear these clothes, you know, and I speak in a certain voice and I change my physicality a bit, I feel like I have a new lease on the world. You know, I feel like I've been given a remote control to control things that I never had access to. And I think that's the inspiration for this play. It previously existed as a play that was supposed to be staged, and then COVID happened, stupid COVID. And then so we then staged it with Jasmine Ng from Aware as a live stream where I had 3 cameras in front of me. Whenever I changed an angle, I would change my expression as well. And because the camera was also capturing me from different angles, then I would be a different character. So there are 9 different characters in this play, and it's just this whole idea of exploring the identities that are inside you. And then for this live production, because Jasmine's a film director, we were like, I want to work with a theatre director. Somebody who has very similar philosophies to me is Irfan, right here. And so I invited him to come on board, and then he gave me this very same deadpan face that he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I was like, what you want to do? Why?
What made you say yes?
I like to go into personals and specificity as a director. I sat down with Joe and we just talked about, you know, why you created this work. And I wanted to make sure that I could be the one to create this magic with her. It has to be very specific, even though, you know, she wrote it. I wanted it also to represent both the good and evil of gender.
Being born assigned a gender at birth, sometimes we lean into it because it's just easier. You know, really, it's just easier to get through life if somebody expects you to like, oh, sorry, I really don't know. Can you help me? I'm so sorry. Like, sure, you know, if that's what it takes to get you through the day. Yeah, lean into it. And sometimes people are like, don't do that. Or sometimes people don't like it when you challenge the gender that you were born with. I don't know. I think for myself and Irfan, we're like, there's a time and place for everything, and people find their own way through the world.
I noticed you started off with the character being she, and then you switched pronouns. You said that Stirling the personality became a he.
He is an extremely wanky man.
Right. So, and then at some point you also mentioned demon just now. So I'm just wondering, why demon? I mean, without giving too much away, of course, we don't spoil the play. How do you reconcile that with your own experience?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. I mean, I personally like, if you're accepted as this guy called Stirling da Silva, who's larger than life, you know, kind of, he talks with like a slightly kind of like American accent, you know, and he's very like, yeah, I think I'm all that. I'm like hot shit, you know, and she really like, she adopts this male character that she sees around her is somebody that she knows, who just like jumps on all that privilege and it's like, yeah, you know, like she delights in it until the point where you think like, if I had the same privilege as these guys, wouldn't I just use it? Wouldn't I just be awful to everybody around me? Because why not? There's some vengeance there. So like, people treated me like shit before, and I'm in a position of power. Why don't I just crap on you as well if you are a different type of minority or a different type of oppressed person? And I think that's in all of us. If you're allowed to take that throne as a king or a queen or whatever, what will you do with it? I definitely have not been nice to everybody in my life. And is that prejudice? Is that privilege? Possibly. You know, and it's just, something that I wanted to explore.
And you sense that dissonance before you put pen to paper, and then it became a project, and then you performed it. How has sort of your take on gender evolved through the process, now actually performing it and then watching the audience react to it, and then I imagine as well hearing stories from people and how it impacted them?
Yeah. For the first run, like a lot of women really connected to it. Actually, there were men who liked it, but the people who were very vocal to me about it were mostly women. They identified as women. So it was more like a feminist, I think it was seen as more of a feminist play. With Irfan, I think it is more the idea of, you know, like, can we move between genders and like, again, like what kind of label do you want to put on things? And once you put a label on it, then what kind of advantage are you getting from that label, or what kind of like oppression are you getting from that label? Can you decline? So if you decline, are you then a bad person? So after I did that workshop, because Becca the Bus was in the same workshop, so Becca was like, do you want to come on Riot? So I've actually been on Riot a few times as the kind of like the prototype of Stirling da Silva. His name is Taylor Jin. So he's based on this super wanky guy that at the time he was like, I made money off crypto, I'm a crypto bro. And he would like talk like that, and he would just talk out of his ass about everything. So I did a few riots, and then some people were like, oh, okay, so she's done drag kinging and she is writing a play based on her experiences from that, and she's married to a man. So is she taking up space that she shouldn't be taking up? Because traditionally, at least historically, the drag space was for people who needed a refuge, because of their gender identity, their sexual orientation. So why is she taking up space here? And that was interesting. It was interesting. It hurt me a lot because maybe I don't identify as purely cisgender, but then I got to a place where I was like, then what is a space for me? Then where do I belong? And Becca was actually great because Becca was like, there's like bio queens. The whole idea of drag is just, if you're a woman, you can be a bio queen, but you just like, I am a woman, I'm proudly a woman. And I'm going to like highlight that and magnify that times 100 where I am a woman with like, like fake boobs and sequins and everything. And that's totally fine. It's just an exploration of what gender means. So Becca was actually very cool about it. It was like, don't let these people like, Riot is a space for all kinds of queens.
Yeah, don't let them shrink you.
Yeah.
Instead, sort of like have a look at yourself, and if you feel comfortable. At the end of Tartuffe, if you came up to me and you shared something with me.
Yeah. I think I identify as non-binary, and that was interesting because then that's also a term that I'm like, some non-binary people have gone like, you're not queer enough. So that's also something.
Yeah,
like,
who's to say?
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I don't want to discount because something that another friend told me was that every time people reject labels or they lean into labels, lean into new labels, it comes from a place of hurt. Like if you don't want to identify as female, I mean, honestly, I have it easier because I do present as female. I'm married to a man, and so people are actually more willing to hear me say things. They don't go like, it's the gay agenda. It's the gay agenda. So I have that privilege, and I admit it. But sometimes when people reject the gender that they are assigned, it does come from trauma. It's because all these things, what baggage has been put on this label for them before, where they feel like I can't be associated with it, and don't call me this, don't address me by this pronoun, and they're very protective about it because they have to protect themselves. So sometimes when people go, this space is not for you, I've come to realize that it is because they want to protect themselves and the people around them, and that's fine. And then it just makes me, I don't know, I have to find a different space though. That's it.
They have every right to feel protective about it. But if this is your safe space of self-expression and this is how you choose to express yourself, then why let anyone take that away from you?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, thank you. I mean, but I think I am almost. I'm also, this is why I'm not on radio anymore, guys. I think that I am finding a safe space in theatre as well. So I mean, it's great. I love watching a lot of drag queens, and I'd love to do it at some point. But I'm sure you're freaking amazing. So I also don't want to. If there are people who are better than it and can do like death drops, like you go, girl. Like,
no, I mean, like if someone performs this, you learn from them. You pick up things that you apply then to your own. I'm not saying you have to go and train to do a death drop, but it's just that's just what they do, and then you're gonna find your thing that makes you great,
absolutely.
and on stage all the time that is drag.
Absolutely. Tartuffe was drag.
Oh my goodness.
100%.
I was in a corset. And I was in this tall blonde wig. Dim Sum Dollies is a kind of drag.
Of course.
Oh my goodness, definitely. Yeah. Because I mean, there are a lot of caricatures also. I mean, not in a not in a pigeonholey kind of way, but it's kind of like
the SQ girl, who's like loves the white men, and we told them like yes,
based on true stories, right? So it's not like
but I mean, it's just we're just having fun with like the stereotypes of women, and that's also a question mark. It's like, okay, do we recognize these women, and what does it say about society that we have these women in our midst or whatnot?
I'm curious, Samjo, sort of the premise of King, if we were to flip it around, it's kind of like your journey with drag as well, right? I mean, I think you and Joe both understand sort of the power of presenting a certain way or dressing up, and then watching everyone react to you a certain way, but then also with that, the ridiculousness and silliness of it all, because you realize that, oh my gosh, you're only treating me this way because of this, like really, like when you're in drag, do you feel like people treat you differently as well now that you've become your own baby queen?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is yes. I was trying to explain it to a straight friend also, because he was like, he couldn't wrap his head around. His question to me over lunch one day was, when you go to your drag shows and you're all done up already, all dolled up already, like, how do you, are you not scared that people stare, right? That was his question. And then I'm like, actually, I didn't really think about that, because like, on the one hand, shameless performer and me wants people to stare.
Yeah.
Because,
it's liberating.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they look at you a different way.
Yeah. And on the other hand, also, it's like, there is almost a shield. Like, I see, my performance of gender, whatever it is that I choose to portray at night, like maybe I'm a turtle for the night or whatever, right? Because I've done animal drag before, and it's like
He's serious about this, by the way. He did it to Kylie Minogue slow.
Yeah,
That's really nice. Yeah, I've done lion dance in drag.
Oh my goodness.
Are you for real?
Yeah. So I'm one of the organizers of Intervention Party, and we were created just so that there's an alternative way to experience music in the queer scene. Like, we just didn't want to play top 40s, which is valid, So
I love top 40s.
Yes, I know.
Me too. Valid. Yeah.
So we created this party called Intervention, and we play different kind of music, and there's like reggaeton, and there's like I play indigenous music, and so part of it is I also do a performance. So I've done Javanese traditional dance, and the last one was a lion dance made with a shopping basket, and it was quite fun because the themes involve a lot of like sacred rituals. Yeah. So it's really interesting that you do like animal drag. Tell me more.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we're both into animals here.
Correct,
Let's take this offline.
No, but is it furryism if it's a turtle? Because they're not furry.
At this point, I'm just kind of like...
Shellism. Oh wait, it's just I'm connecting the dots right now, because I went to the first intervention party. You have had three so far, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So there was someone performing with lights. That
Correct.
was you.
That was me. Yeah.
It's just like okay.
It's a small world after all.
Such a small world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. What I love about the art form is that you get to set your own rules in a way, and you get to basically fuck it up, you can gender fuck, and you can explore that, and not in a way that is like, to put anyone down. In fact, you're building people up. You're trying to show people that I can be weird but also beautiful. And even if you don't see whatever I'm presenting as beautiful, that's fine, because I am living my own truth. Today I am a lion dancer with a basket. Okay, that is valid.
Yes.
And you're gonna look at me and hopefully find something in you that maybe very weird and maybe a little bit like off center. But before I started performing, that was what drag was to me, like especially the weird ones. I'm always leaning into that.
Yeah.
So when you ask me, like, do people treat me differently? Yes, but I don't mind it, because I feel like it's almost like my form of self-expression, and I never knew that I could express myself that way. Yeah. So
because it's not just a gender thing anymore. Like when Samjo is Jojo Sam Claire, it's not just sort of drag male to female. It's still very much Samjo. There's still very much the creativity of Samjo. There's still very much the humor in there as well. And also, if I may add a very, very important point, if it weren't for drag, we wouldn't have had this incredible moment when Ame was in Singapore. Ame noticed Samjo in drag in the crowd, and the camera screen, everything was just Samjo's face.
yeah, it was a moment. It was definitely the highlight of my life, of my Mendo Pop fan life.
Yeah.
Because firstly, shout out to Vivi Ho, my fellow drag sister, from the scene, and she's a huge Army fan as well. We planned months in advance. We were like, we're gonna get tickets to go together, but let's go and drag. I dressed up as Britney. I went to Britney. I dressed up as Katy Perry. I went to Katy Perry.
So were you Army?
I was trying to be Ame lah. Like, I tried to. I ordered a wig on Taobao, a purple wig, because she had a purple hair era. I ordered a wig and went off on my holidays thinking it would arrive, and then I don't know maybe my Chinese not good enough. Like, it's just slided through the years. And then they were like, oh, I didn't pay some processing fee. Anyway, long story is, TLDR is my wig didn't arrive and I had to make do with a very thirsty wig that I had in my closet. It was also purple.
Right.
So I just went around telling everyone that I'm budget ame lah. And that was that. And she spotted us in the crowd and she's just one of those celebrities who, would bother to talk to you.
Nice.
And yeah, it just felt so good because I don't know. I'm just fangirling here. But Ame, if you're listening.
Yes, that's what Ame does on her free time. She listens to the SG Boys
You
podcast.
never know. Josh, you gotta manifest these things.
Manifest, Josh.
All right, circling back to King, where can we get tickets? When is it running for?
Yes, you can get tickets on PTix and it's running from 10th to 13th August, so National Day weekend. So you will see a lot of recognizable Singaporeans actually in the show. I think this is the office lady from next door. That's that guy, the really irritating guy who keeps telling me about keto diet in the office when I just want to be left alone.
Yeah. When you're on your smoke break.
Yeah. So there's a lot of very recognizable characters, all played by me and movement guided by Mitch and directed by Irfan.
Irfan, who is the show for?
The show is for anyone and everyone who is undecided about who they want to be and is looking to possible future iterations of themselves. It's about freedom. It's about oppression. Who can we oppress when we are also expressing ourselves? When you do drag, you then somehow become gatekeepers of queerness in some way or your rules, So you do disclude some people. Yeah.
And the idea of sometimes women do sometimes find drag queens very misogynistic, and is there truth in that? So that's something that we're asking as well.
I've always wondered that also, and I haven't found the answer. But I don't know. As a woman, do you find it sometimes, especially when it's say cisgendered man, presenting performing a woman in a very heightened form of big boobs and big hair and the hips are so accentuated, a lot of makeup,
again, I think it's the intention, right? It's we've seen it on media before where somebody dresses up as a different race, and that's just that's what you think our race is. And of course you can do that with gender, you can do that with anything.
You can tell when something is lovingly done and when something is mockery.
So with drag, I think it crosses boundaries sometimes, but it's all intention, right? And because I do it myself, so it's I give the benefit of the doubt. What we go into is almost like locker room talk. You know how sometimes guys we have these things where the guys say crap about women, and drag queens can take that to the extreme sometimes. The things they say to each other, and just the names they call each other. So for us, we also go oh, it's that. If you're a drag queen, then is that okay? So that's something that we don't go very deeply into it, but don't have huge expectations. But
but it's good that you're having that conversation. I don't have the answers. I don't think a lot of people who do drag also have the answers necessarily. And sometimes I do look at stuff that I look back also on stuff that we see even on RuPaul's Drag Race, and that is that problematic because you are leaning into a negative stereotype of a woman, right?
Yeah.
When they do Snatch Game and impersonate celebrities, and it's back to their drug habit. Or back to, you know what I mean? Or back to the fact that Adele was once big. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. So So where do you draw the line? I don't know.
I think what's interesting about King is also we're investigating how does one perform gender in different contexts with different people. And how does one then distill this idea of feminine or masculine? What is the essence of being feminine? And who dictates that? So we do show a myriad of circumstances where feminine womanness within the scenes.
To your partner, do you sometimes go please? And of course you're playing into that hyper femininity sometimes. Or in the office, if you want to get some attention, suddenly you go I'm the power female, but I'm also I'm new generation feminist, but I'm hot. And then it's that playing into male fantasy. What does that mean?
Right.
It's just different ways we weaponize, or we just lean into our femininity and masculinity, and sometimes men feel that they have to, they're trapped in a certain type of body, otherwise they will be not respected, and it's just what traps us and what do we weaponize, and are the things that we use as weapons actually actually caging us in. So it's yeah.
I remember having this conversation with Joe very early on when we created some of the movement and some of the production numbers for Stirling da Silva, and then just sharing with Joe that as male dancers, from a very young age, we are taught how to perform masculinity because audiences want to see a sexy male dancer on stage. So you're taught and you learn very quickly what that looks like, and you make your body do that. And then very often that also translates to how you treat your body as well. You go to the gym, you pump up the muscles, you feel a certain way when you perform. So we had discussions about those parameters that are in your head when you dedicate your life to being, that kind of a physical performer. So for King, I guess it's how much Stirling wants to lean into the masculinity and how we bring that out in the dance performances as well.
You have a Magic Mikey song, but it's not actually done to a Magic Mike song. So we've got some K-pop. We've got a Cantonese hit from the 90s. So it's the idea of like, what does Asian masculinity look like as well? So we're not bearding up. We don't have glitter beards, but it's just like, if I've got super thick eyebrows and that crucifix earring that falls down one ear, it's like a K-pop boy. Is that masculine? Yes, it is. But not in the traditional way that people of our generation might have grown up with. So,
and it's what an audience wants from a male as well, like a female audience watching like Kanto drama. That's what they imagine. Oh, this hero looks like, how this hero behaves.
It just gets so frustrating because it keeps changing, like the rules keep changing. Like I remember for like growing up, it was like straight hair, so everyone rebonded their hair.
Yeah,
everyone was rebonding their hair.
Yeah,
and then it was like right now with K-pop culture, and you can see it affecting even like you go to Thailand, like the Thai models look Korean,
and everybody's perming their hair.
Yeah,
perming,
and they're going for like super like before it was like everyone's getting a tan, everyone's trying to look browner, and then now everyone's looking as bright pale white as possible, like not like any contouring done whatsoever. It's just flat white. So it's just like another thing to show like, as a guy, this is how you ought to look. So it gets exhausting.
No, I can imagine. Yeah. And so I was talking to another friend who is non-binary, and they were just saying that it's incredible because they feel much more attractive once they've decided that, this is how I identify, because you then don't have to square with, oh, this is how I'm supposed to look a certain way, or this is how I'm supposed to look. And I think for me, it's strange. Like when I started going like, oh, I don't know whether maybe I'm non-binary. I don't know. But just freeing my idea of gender was like, actually, I feel much more attractive. I really do. I don't go like, oh, I'm not like soft-spoken enough to hide my teeth. Things like that. Yeah. It's
I think part of that is just being comfortable in your own skin now. Now they've understood.
And just not like seeing the gap between yourself and the prototype, of a certain type of gender. Because then it just goes like, oh, actually, maybe there's no existing prototype for this, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I would say I'm still guilty of seeing that gap. Like I still mind the gap. It's not even something I consciously think about. So it's funny because like Mitch, you said feeling comfortable in your own skin, and I feel like for the most part I do. Like when I feel like I've come to a stage in my life where I can just be. But when the gap comes into play and still affects me, it's like say I maybe I listen back to this podcast, right? Or I look at a video of myself, an Instagram story that a friend took of me. Wow, my wrist was so limp there. And it's crazy that I'm saying that, like, because I'm someone who, I would like to think that I'm very comfortable with my feminine side, and then now I do drag also, right? I don't know why it still affects me in some subconscious way.
Can I jump in on this?
Yeah, please.
Can I jump in on this? It's like, it doesn't really cost me anything to tell someone, I'm gay and I'm happy being a gay creative or events planner, or when I participate as an actor sometimes and I'm asked to step into gay roles. It doesn't really cost me anything in the sense that I'm not a director at a company that, someone might try to say, oh, you're not suitable in this position if you're XYZ gender, or if you identify as gay, etc., etc. But there are people out there that they can't. They feel like if I let somebody know who I am, they can use it against me, and I feel endangered by it, and therefore I have to hide in the closet. I have to behave a certain way, and therefore I also berate myself if I see myself with a limp wrist in a picture or a video.
kind of like I'm still trying to like wrap my head around it, because it's not like I'm ashamed of it.
But you've lived a certain way, and that's what you've told yourself for so long. So it's inevitable that voice is going to come out and like, hey.
Is it learned like
conditioning, right? It's conditioning.
Learned like self-prejudice and trauma, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know what it is, and I wish I was rid of it.
I never knew I walked with a sachet until my father pointed it out, and that shame is real, and I was screamed at the dinner table for walking to the fan with a sachet, and I was like, I'm just walking. Why are we politicizing gestures and movement? How strict have we become with the definitions of what a man is and what a woman is? I studied Javanese classical dance, which involves a lot of slow and feminine movements. Definitions will change over time, and it's really interesting that you're looking back at yourself and feeling somewhat of a reaction to it. And I think that's important, because if not, you won't be doing what you're doing now. It's really important for us to be affected by our past, for us to hope for a better future, I think.
I think at the core, it's acceptance, right? Because now I'm in the room and I'm accepted like this, then I'm going to behave a certain way now, because society will accept this. And if I sort of relate it to my life, like I'll do another layer on top of it, where for me, I felt like I could be as fun and feminine as I wanted to, and explore that outside of the LGBT community. I felt like I could be more flamboyant, and I could feel more comfortable doing that with people who are straight. I get to be as special as I want to feel, and I get to be this way, and then people will be like, oh, that's Josh, that one gay guy in the room, and I'd be like, okay, and I'll make, I'll get a real laugh out of that as well. But then for me, the part where I notice myself policing how I behave, how I present, I'm going to Tantric tonight. What am I going to wear?
Right.
Like, I'm going to hang with my people from my own community.
Yeah, but what would be acceptable to them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I would love to just go to a gay bar or gay club and just like throw down on the dance floor, be fun, be free, be messy, squeal like, oh my God, yes, this is my song. And then go full on with my choreography. But I feel like I'm the most, like my chest is all puffed up the most when I'm in a gay bar, because in our community, it's like we've already been treated a certain way outside. So now that we're inside, we're going to try to be as masked as possible.
Right.
We want acceptance. So it's sort of back to that, right? And to be accepted by our own people, we would have to do the more masculine dance in sort of Mitch's craft, So like even today, like I uploaded this Insta story of me unboxing this K-pop album that I bought, and I'm like so happy.
I watched it.
Thank you. And I was so happy, but I was so like afraid to post it, because I'm like, oh, people are gonna see this side of me, and I was more concerned about my own queer people in my life. What if they see that and they see this feminine side of me, and then they're gonna not want to go out with me anymore because they're not gonna see this as attractive.
What do you mean by feminine side?
Like just being out, like.
Being happy.
Just even expressive.
Okay.
Just being, oh my God, this is this.
Yeah.
I've had people go like, oh, like this a bottom behavior.
Oh my
like,
God.
I didn't know you were a top, Josh, because you're so like loud and expressive. And I'm like,
nice slipping that in there, by the way.
no, but for real, like, no, but like I get that.
He always does that way.
I get the pun, but like that's just something I notice about myself. That I'm trying to like shake off, but I'm still finding myself like trying to. Like when Padam Padam comes on, trust that I'm gonna be a very like larger than life version of myself.
I want to see that version.
But I also found myself holding it in my own queer spaces.
Funny that in King, there is a character called Ethan that says, on Grindr, no one will even look at me because I'm femme. I agree with you. It's come to this point in the gay community that we almost prize, the more masculine, the more muscly, the taller guy or the guy with stronger cheekbones.
Yeah.
When we forget that we're all trying to protect that young person inside.
The child.
Yeah.
What I noticed there is like, and something that I've thought about a lot also is like, it's always like, oh, feminine femme is bad.
Yeah.
And it's down to, and actually links back to your point about misogyny, Joe.
Yeah.
There's, we are brought up with this like patriarchy that insists anything womanly or feminine in energy or in presentation is inherently weak, or like there's something problematic with that, and God forbid, like, you know, a cisgender guy like should embrace that side of them. And actually that's a fact, like all of us do have feminine energy, like, you know, coursing through our veins, like, you know, we have been so conditioned to, like, you know, stamp that part out, especially if you are a guy and a so-called, like, supposed to be a macho guy. And then even gay guys also, like, and what they expect in not just themselves but in their partners. It's like, it's wild. Like, I feel like it ties back to misogyny. I don't know if you all agree.
The whole idea of like feminine equals to showing my emotions. Oh man, I'm so excited, and like, wow, when did that become a thing? I guess for hundreds of years. But I mean, it's so weird, right? That like, then you get the stereotype of the like stoic man, who never shows his emotions, and then like, actually, like, I don't know, man, is abusing substances or women, or, you know, and it's just wow, that's what we want,
because we're supposed to be cold, right? And cool. We're supposed to be cool, and if cool means like to not react, to not show any emotion whatsoever, to not exclaim. So I would find myself policing that so much to the point where, so like right now I'm not on Grindr or Tinder or anything,
right?
Because I realized that I have been policing myself, even the kind of photos that I'll upload,
right,
to present myself as something that's attractive. Like it's now like reached a point where, why am I choosing this photo? Or it's because it shows that I'm very masculine here. People will want to see this, and if they see this and they swipe right on me, or they want to talk to me because of that, and then they find out that I can squeal and I can this and that, then they're gonna find me unattractive. And you also do see that on bios. You do see people straight up saying no femmes, no this, no that. I'm still trying to like find my footing, so I'm not on any of these things at this moment. That might change, but like at this moment, this is kind of like where I'm at, where I'm still kind of like tug of warring, I guess, with
you're tugging. What are you tugging
and
exactly, Josh?
Whoring? Warring.
With that part of myself.
Do you have like an ideal character that you would be? Maybe you should try drag.
I bet you have. Have you
I'm
not?
so down.
I would be surprised if you haven't.
I've done drag as a one-off thing with Victoria Wondersnatch, but just solely for her video. But I also felt very free from gender itself. Like the way I sort of talked about Samjo in drag was that I didn't feel like a woman, I didn't feel like a guy. I felt like I was just throwing everything around and just saying, fuck it. I am just this. And it felt really nice. And it felt really, really nice. Yeah, maybe. I remember feeling very confused with my identity. I'm not sure if it's sort of just gender, but I remember feeling at one point like I had to, like, I was in town for some reason. I remember this, and I just like asked myself, like, who is Josh actually? I'm really confused.
Right.
Because I am like, so there are some days where my voice is lower and I'm a lot more, I guess, masculine to the world, and then there are days where I'm a lot more feminine in the world, and then there are days where I'm like a sponge. I kind of like take in whatever energy is around me. So I found myself a bit very, very confused with that, and I go back to this brilliant line in Meredith Brooks' Bitch.
Classic.
I'm a little bit of everything all rolled into one. You know, so I'm still trying to make sense of that.
So you're a bitch, you're a lover, you're a child, you're a mother,
you're a sinner, you're a saint.
I do not feel ashamed. Don't forget the lyrics.
Speaking of being anything you want, I just want to highlight that Mitch has been some amazing animals as well, because
back to the animals
because he was the dance captain of The Lion King on the West End for years.
Wow.
Yes, I was in animal drag for about 8 years. Yes, I was once a giraffe, I was once a zebra, I was once a gazelle, I was part of an elephant, and I was part of a rhino.
Part of an elephant.
No one person can play an elephant.
Oh, that's profound.
It takes four. It takes four persons to play an elephant.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Lion King is amazing.
And talk about putting on a costume that makes you feel a certain way, like powerful, or makes you move a certain way. Those costumes were definitely designed for you to inhabit the animal. And some of the more elaborate ones become the character, you know, like the character of Simba, the character of Nala. Fortunate, very privileged to have been part of that company for many years.
Yeah.
Which was your favorite animal to portray? Like, and then why? I'm just curious. Like
a giraffe. Every Lion King around the world in every production, there are only 2 giraffes. So it always comes as a pair. And as performers, sometimes we create backstories to these animals. So they could be 2 brothers or a brother and a sister or 2 lovers on stage. And then sometimes the giraffe will rub their noses against each other under Pride Rock, that kind of thing. So I love that those backstories.
Oh, I love giraffes. Like, I'm reminded of like some animal documentary. Could it be Nat Geo or something, or was it Animal Planet? What, you know, where they show the giraffes when they're mating.
Oh.
I think they lock their necks and they slam their necks against each other like.
When they're
I love
fighting,
that.
right? This is when they're fighting, is it?
Fighting or
when they're
mating?
fighting.
Two males. Oh, yes. So maybe I was drawn to that male on male energy as a kid.
That
without knowing what it
testosterone,
was.
like fighting for the territory, right?
Yeah. So I don't know why, but the image came to mind.
If I could just real quick circle back to your coming out, Joe.
Uh-huh.
We've had this recurring discussion on the show about coming out and then having to educate people with what you're coming out with
Right.
or as.
Yeah.
What was that like with the people around you?
Like, there was a time where I wrote a lesbian character, and one of our assistant directors went like, no, this is problematic because you're not even a queer female, and you're writing a lesbian character being portrayed by a cisgendered male. And then, it was that saying, are we saying that? And then I had to go like, okay, so actually, like, I mean, if you want to put a definition on it, I don't know that I am a cisgendered female, kind of thing. So for me, it's like, I don't necessarily say it unless I feel that it's necessary. And it's also a conflict for me where it's like, again, like, of course you have to protect the spaces. You don't want some, like straight wanky guy going like, I'm gonna write.
People on their journey, right? You look
Yeah.
at Heartstoppers on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So one of the lead actors in the show was criticized for being a straight white guy playing a queer character, and he was essentially forced to come out before feeling ready to come out.
Yeah.
And that was sort of a really tough experience, and also a wake-up call for our community to be like, let's not immediately shun someone,
Yeah.
assuming that in your case, just because
Yeah.
you're married
Yeah.
and you've been presenting a certain way, does not mean that you're not on your own journey as well and figuring things out.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's all a journey for everybody. And again, I understand that people need to protect themselves because, especially if they've been oppressed in the past. But I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe listen more, and I don't know.
Did your husband understand?
My husband's amazing. So he was like, he thought for a very long time. He's one of those like super duper straight guys. He thought for a very long time. Then he was like, if you want to transition, I'll still love you. I was like, no, it's okay. Like, we're not there. We're not there.
Talk
at the
about
moment.
educating what you're coming out as. It's like, I said non-binary.
yeah. Well, it was also very sweet. I was like, oh, man, I guess you really do love me. So for me, I don't know. I mean, he says that now. Then I'll come back with a strap on, and he'll be like, "What are you doing with that?" Which has not happened.
Yet. I have a technical question, Joe. Like, because I noticed your name, Joe.
Yeah.
And it's like, should we share a syllable?
Yes, we do. It's a
Yeah,
great,
Sam
great
Joe.
name. It's a great, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is that your name that you were given, or is it a name that you shorten? Or what?
Josephine.
See, I was wondering.
Yeah.
And because I noticed it's a very, what do you call it, androgynous name.
Yeah.
Was it a conscious choice to like shorten it, or was it just...
I think so. I think I never felt like I lived up to the femininity of a Josephine, and I was also like, I always felt awkward around it. It was like wearing something that, I don't belong in this name. I never felt good enough. So just the idea of taking away the idea of gender then helped me think maybe there isn't a good enough to live up to. So maybe I was subconsciously steering away from that.
Wow.
I also do just want to jump in at this point and say, just being assigned female at birth, it's just, I have to say that it's a lot easier to say I'm non-binary or whatever than, of course, somebody's assigned male at birth. So, I don't want to make it into like, it's not a huge struggle for me, especially since I'm surrounded by people who are very accepting, including my husband. So thank you for respecting, like whatever things I've had to go through. I can't say, that I've probably gone through the struggles that other people have, maybe people at this table have.
If we go back to acceptance, right? It's like, do you accept yourself?
Yeah, more
Right?
now, yeah.
Because if you accept yourself, then it doesn't matter where you're going, right? And to then apply that to sort of what I brought up earlier, like if I accepted who I am as like, oh yeah, I am a little bit of everything all rolled into one, and I need to like accept that, I'm not going to need to worry about whether or not someone sees this side of me and then thinks that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're just Josh.
Yeah.
Right? And like, oh, do you want me to define that? I can if it makes it easier for you.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily make things easier for me. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Once again, tell us about King and where we can get tickets.
you can get tickets on PTix, and it runs from 10th to 13th of August, which is National Day weekend. Another reason why I'm not on radio. Sorry. I'm just like, what kind of voice do I have to do? But yeah.
No, we need more people like you already.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't tell what.
Yeah.
We want to thank Joe, Irfan, and Mitch. Thank you for coming down and joining us on the show. I think before you go, just round the table, what would you like to say to the person listening to this episode?
There is passing the mic, and there's also telling your own story, and I think it's something I've had to navigate, and I think let's allow people to do both, and let's try and find that balance, as best as we can. Yeah.
We spend a lot of our lives like actually taking into consideration and being bogged down by what other people say of us.
Yeah.
But listen to yourself more.
Yeah.
And when you look in the mirror and and just cherish what you have, because we're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So live your truth, yo.
Yeah, I'll say like exactly that. Like we have one life on this earth, right? And we get so twisted over like what is right, what is wrong, what is righteous. Feel free to change your mind. Feel free to change your mind on what you think you are, who you think you are, how you think you ought to behave. What is the kind of love that you want? What is the kind of acceptance you want from people? Feel free to change your mind on it.
I hate the world today.
God, okay, we're gonna cut the mic now.
And oh, you cutting me off. You always cut me off when I say Josh.
I'm Joshua Simon,
I'm Sam Joe.
and we are
The SG Boys. That little gay podcast from Singapore.
Subscribe and find us on Instagram at The SG Boys.
The beliefs, views, and opinions expressed on this podcast are attributable to its hosts only and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, organization, company, or individual.